Hey gang, it's your boy MtG here, back with another Magic the Gathering deck tech and gameplay video. And before I jump into this video, I would like to again plug my new community Discord. We just hit 500 subs, so yay, that's so exciting. Thank you guys. And I've just created a community Discord, so if you are into that, you can go ahead and join that. And that's where we're just going to be chatting up about Magic. You can challenge people to direct challenges and practice, test out new decks and suggest new decks for people to try, all that good stuff. Now, I won't talk about that anymore. Let's talk about this Jeskai Planeswalker deck that is tearing up meta right now. Okay, so when I say it's tearing up meta, I wouldn't say this is the top deck. It definitely is. It doesn't win probably consistently against Esper Control or a well-piloted mono red. But it's very, very good. And the reason it's so good is because Sarkhan the Masterless. Now, Sarkhan can just turn your Planeswalkers into 4/4 red dragons and attack and kill your opponent if you have a lot of Planeswalkers on the field. So that's really strong. He's also a good way to protect your creatures, or protect your Planeswalkers by creating a 4/4 red dragon creature token, and that will deal 1 damage to attacking creatures. Yeah, so Sarkhan is great. He's really strong, really strong. But in order to get there, in order to make him really good, we have to play a lot of Planeswalkers. And so, as you can see, this deck is just full of Planeswalkers. That's all it is. So we've got a lot here, and I've seen several other Jeskai Walkers decks that are a little bit different. Everyone's playing it slightly differently, and I'll talk about a little bit of the differences coming up here. So my version of it is playing 3 copies of Saheeli Sublime Artificer, and the main reason I do this is so that we can create blockers. So if we get a Saheeli down on turn 3, and then we know we're gonna be playing non-creature spells all game. It's either gonna be removal or gonna be a Planeswalker, pretty much. And whenever we do that, we create a 1/1 servo creature token, which against any aggressive or mid-range deck, that blocker is going to be very, very valuable to keep our Planeswalkers alive until we can get Sarkhan on the field and swing in for the victory. Okay, so that's why I play Saheeli. I only play 3 copies because we want to play very few 4-ofs in this deck, and we do play 4 of Narset because I think she's one of the more important Planeswalkers for us, at least in the 3 slot, and the main reason that is because she helps us shut down control. One of the ways control beats us really bad is that they can remove and draw extra cards. So they kill our Planeswalkers and then draw cards to get card advantage over us because we do not have a very good card engine. Part of the reason we play Narset is because she can go into our library, look at the top 4 cards, and pick a card out of it. So that does give us a little card advantage, but it also shuts down our opponent from drawing extra cards. So that is very, very nice against control. We also play 3 Dovin Hand of Control in there. Basically the same reason, except it's for aggro. So any kind of aggro deck is going to want to put as much damage on us as they can, especially with creatures. So we can basically take a creature out of the game using Dovin, temporarily, of course, because he can get killed by other things. But we can prevent all damage that will be dealt to and by a certain permanent. So that's usually going to be like a Goblin Chain Whirler. We can stop that. Or even like a Runaway Steamkin if we don't have removal for it. But of course we do run quite a bit of removal here. We've got 2 Shocks and 2 Lightning Strikes and 3 Deafening Clarions for a little early game sweeper, because the main problem we're going to run into is aggro decks that are just going to run us down before we can get our stuff into motion. So we definitely have to have sweepers, and we have to have other early game removal for not only for creatures but for Planeswalkers as well. Lightning Strikes and Shocks are both very good at killing Planeswalkers, especially Baby Teferi and Narset. Those are the ones that are going to really screw us up, so we got to get rid of them. We also run, as I was saying, 3 Teferi Time Raveler. It's just like the best in Standard right now. It's so good. The passive ability of making your opponents only be able to cast spells anytime they can cast a sorcery is pretty bonkers. If you ask me, it's pretty dumb. So that's really nice. It basically doesn't shut down, but it can hamper a control deck quite a bit. So they have to play everything on their turn, and it can also bounce things and draw cards. So this is a very, very good piece that we're gonna need. I've seen decks that are running 4 copies of Kasmina, Enigmatic Mentor, and I'm just not quite as high on Kasmina as other people are, I guess. She's good, don't get me wrong, she's very good. So, spells your opponents cast that target a creature or Planeswalker you control cost 2 or more to cast. That's already decent. I wouldn't say that's amazing, but that's pretty good. She can also create a 2/2 blue wizard creature token, and then we draw a card and then discard a card. So she does a little bit of card filtering for us and creates a blocker. I'm just not as crazy about her, and because she costs 4, that's a bit expensive for what she does, in my opinion. I think our 3 mana planeswalkers are quite a bit better, particularly Saheeli. Saheeli's kind of doing what she's doing in terms of creating blockers for us. She doesn't protect our planeswalkers from spells like Kasmina does, but this does produce blockers for us, and potentially better than Kasmina does. So let's say that. We also run 2 Teferi Hero of Dominarias. I've got a little special edition from when I played closed beta, because I'm a cool guy. So we got 2 Teferis, and then our 4 Sarkhan the Masterless. These are just, Teferi's just so good. He can tuck things, he can draw us cards. It's awesome. It's great. This is a card we don't see play very much, and I don't think most Jeskai Walker builds are playing Karn's Temporal Sundering, but the thing is, like, pretty much every permanent we have in this deck, actually, yes, every single permanent we have in this deck is a legendary, so unless we're just dead in the water, we don't have anything on the field, we're never going to be able to, we're going to be able to cast this. Unless they're killing all our planeswalkers, in which case we're probably just losing the game anyway, so it doesn't matter to get an extra turn. But what this can do for us is we can finally kind of get our stuff into motion, and then get ourselves an extra turn, which can either buy us time to set up better defense, or pull up, sweepers or removal, or just give us an extra turn in order to attack in and win. So that can be very nice. Early on, I skipped kind of the beginning of the game, so we'll get to this. We've got 2 Fblthp the Lost. This is the only creature in the deck, and really all it is going to be a 1/1 chump blocker that draws us a card. These are called cantrips. It just, you pay 2 mana and it replaces itself, and saves you some damage potentially, So this is fine. I've seen decks again that are running 4 of Fblthp, and I just don't think he's good enough for that. I think we have other things early on that are going to be more important, or as important, like particularly negates. I've struggled against control with this deck quite a bit, so I particularly like negate, because that can stop them from getting their powerful planeswalkers in the field, like particularly Nicol Bolas. Gives us some trouble, because it takes all our, it has all of our planeswalker abilities, so that can be kind of bad. So we want to have negates. We also do have 2 spell pierces. This is only really for thought erasure, right? So like, we probably want to be getting down a blue mana source on turn 1, so we can thought erasure if our opponent has one on turn 2. And if we ever see like what is it called? The black and blue Shockland. If we ever see that, we probably want to get an island on the field so we can play Spell Pierce on their turn 2. So this is important. And then again, we have Shocks and Lightning Strikes, and we have 1 single copy of Search for Azcanta. This again, it allows us to do a little bit of card filtering, and then later on we can use its Azcanta the Second Rune to go into the library, or go into the top 4 cards and pick out a planeswalker. Pretty much, that's all it is. Especially like if we're having trouble getting our Sarkhan, or getting our planeswalkers that are going to bounce things for us, like either Teferi, something like that. We can use Search for Azcanta to do that for us. Or we can go get Karn's Temporal Sundering. Who knows? Who knows? One thing that's important to remember, if you're going to play a Planeswalker deck, you got to be playing Interplanar Beacon. This land is really, really, really good for this deck, mainly for the life gain. Whenever you cast a Planeswalker spell, you gain 1 life. And so if you have multiple Interplanar Beacons on the field, you're getting quite a bit of life for your planeswalkers, so this can be very, very helpful. This can make the difference in an aggro matchup, so this is important, and it just makes sure you can get the mana right, get your mana right when you're trying to cast your planeswalkers. So this allows us, in my opinion, to be a little more flexible with our lands. So I am playing 1 Blast Zone and 1 Mobilized District. I had a Karn's, what's it called? Karn's Bastion in here, so we can proliferate our planeswalkers. I just didn't feel like it was going to be that useful. It's too expensive. The land ability is a bit too expensive for this deck to really make use of it. So I took it out. But you get your mana right. My mana is all wonky because I don't have all the shock lands and everything. But this is the deck. If you've seen different versions of this, let me know what the differences are below, because most of them are playing very similar to this. Deafening Clarions as sweepers, Sarkhan as the win con, and then any combination of like Narset and Teferi and other Teferi and either Saheeli or Dovin, one of those. So let me know what you think of this in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash like, and let's get into the gameplay. Okay, team, here we go. Coming into game 1 against Icalis. All right, Mr. Tezzeret, what are you gonna throw up against me? Oh, geez, this is almost a definite mulligan. What I like about this is that we have Teferi Time Raveler, but having 4 lands and 2 Sarkhans is just really not what we want. I feel like I'm gonna regret mulliganing this though. Because Teferi can draw us a card, right? And we're on the play, so our opponent's going to start a little slower. I'm actually going to keep this. I know that I'll regret it if I mulligan, but I may end up regretting this because we're going to flood out. Mark my words, we will flood out with this hand. So I'll go ahead and get a Sacred Foundry on the field, and then probably Steam Vents next turn, depending on what we draw. Plains and a Rustwing Falcon. Hey, yeah, we're already starting to flood, so that's nice. Let's get our Steam Vents in, so we can play Teferi Time Raveler next turn. We just have to be careful that he doesn't get just womboed. He probably will die. If we bounce something, he's going to die, so we have to keep that in mind. But another Rustwing Falcon. Sky Marcher Aspirant. Okay, so it's looking like mono white flyers here. Ooh, I'm at I don't love this right now. We're going to take 4 damage if I don't play Teferi, and I want to draw a card, so let's go ahead. I'm going to play the Sulfur Falls, get Teferi down. We can bounce the Sky Marcher, and wait a second. Cancel this. Let's see. If I +1 him, he's not going to die this turn. You know, he's not going to die the upcoming turn. So I could potentially just +1 and use him to absorb damage, but I think I needed to get this draw off so we can try to pick up a Deafening Clarion pretty soon. And another land. We've drawn so far only lands. This is wonderful. You know, I can always tell when a hand is going to flood me really hard. So yeah, there goes up Teferi, which I'm really fine with him dying at this point. He's not that important to the game plan, especially against like a mono white aggro. Tomic, okay, so they're doing a mono white flyers, which is a bit scary because they're gonna have. Oh my god, thank you. Well, we wiped their board, so this is good. Yeah, we'll just do that. Kill everything, and they're gonna have trouble bouncing back from that. So good luck, opponent. So mono white flyers is very cool. I tried to make a deck with this, but I found it wasn't as consistent as I wanted it to be because it relies on a card called Rally of Wings, which is kind of it's a great card. It's a good card. You just have to draw it to make your deck really work. I'm gonna go ahead and play Sarkhan here and make a dragon so it can block their flyers. He drops down to 2, and they concede. Okay, well. There you have it. That was an easy win. So Deafening Clarion against this mono white build is bonkers. I feel bad for just sweeping their board the way I did, but you know, sometimes you just top deck exactly what you need. You know, Magic is easy. Magic is easy. Just draw what you need, right? Anyone watch Merchant out there? That's his line, right? Magic is easy. Just draw what you need. Get a oof in the chat for stealing Merchant's quote. Okay, the bloody hammer. What do we have here? I feel like my game is moving a little slow right now. This is actually a great hand. I love this hand. We can get Hallowed Fountain into Steam Vents, into Sulfur Falls, into Saheeli, into Narset, or Kasmina, whichever one feels right. You know, probably Saheeli is going to come first, just so we can get the servo trigger. Because depending on what we see, that's going to be important. Yeah, let's keep these. We keep these. We have 4 lands, which I don't love. I'd rather have 3 with all these 3 mana planeswalkers. So they're Shocking and Godless Shrine. Footlight Fiend. Ah, dang it. Okay, well, this is looking like Mardu Aristocrats, which blows. That actually, we do not do well against this deck. Just because our one sweeper just destroys their creatures, and then we can take a ton of damage from that. So this could be potentially bad. Tithe Taker. Okay, let's get Steam Vents. Not what I wanted to play. I thought I clicked Steam Vents, played Sulfur Falls instead. You know, sometimes these things happen. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay, so maybe not Mardu. Maybe it's just Orzhov. Yeah, it's definitely Aristocrats with the Cruel Celebrant there. Here's the deal. If I play Saheeli, does she die? No, okay, I can play Saheeli and she'll only go to 1, which is fine. Because if we play Kasmina next turn, we'll get a servo and a whatchamacallit. If I were them, I would just go for the face instead of attacking Saheeli, but I'm not them, so there you have it. Ooh, eek. The real shame here is that if I play Narset, she just dies next turn. I'm going to have to shock in a land here, which I really don't like against this deck. I don't like doing that, but I feel like I need to go ahead and do this. Get Kasmina on the field. Produces us another blocker. And then we discard Spell Pierce, probably. Actually... I think we probably discard Spell Pierce. This deck does not run very many, if any, creature or non-creature spells, I mean. So, yeah, I think that's the right play. They could potentially have a Sorin, and I'm going to regret that, but I think that was right. This also, our blockers now slow them down substantially. They're going for it. Okay, not with Cruel Celebrant, but they're going for it. We go block there and block there. So we're going to lose some life, and they can still kill Saheeli with the Footlight Fiend, but we still maintain a blocker unless they kill the blocker instead of Saheeli. Yeah, I know I take the damage, whatever. They kill our Saheeli, oh no! Wait, prevent all damage that will be dealt by. Does this count as damage? I don't think this counts as damage. Each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. I'm pretty sure that doesn't count as damage. I don't like that. Let's go ahead and proc Kasmina here. Oh yeah, so we'll go ahead and discard Steam Vents so I can play Interplanar Beacon and go Saheeli again. So we gain 1 life here. Unfortunately, we cannot immediately play another Planeswalker, but we do have plenty of blockers for now. So we're okay. We're okay. This is a flyer, so they can kill Kasmina, which I'm not too concerned with. Oh, they are Mardu. They got their red mana source. Do they get a Judith here? Important question. Do they get a Judith? Nope, they get a big booty heroic reinforcements is what they get. Not big booty Judy. Okay, mate. Really? Attacking me with Cruel Celebrant. I'm double blocking Cruel Celebrant all day, dude, all day. I think you've messed up, Bloody Hammer. This is one of the things about they must have a replacement Cruel Celebrant, right? Like, you've got to. Okay, yeah, we go Deafening Clarion, wipe their board. We, of course, lose our own stuff, which I should have attacked first. That was pretty stupid. But we can go ahead and get Narset down here. Yeah. Do both. So we're a little bit low on cards, which is scary, but we can go get something with Narset. And we'll pick up a Sarkhan the Masterless, which is, yeah! So we're in an actually pretty okay position here. We've got 6 mana ready to go. Let's see what they got. Now, if they get a Judith the Scourge Diva, we can kind of shut her down with Dovin Hand of Control. So that's kind of nice. Grim Initiate. Alright. Ooh, they must be hurting for stuff. We will. What do we do here? To be honest, I'm almost afraid of a Settle the Wreckage. I would be super surprised if they played a Settle the Wreckage in this deck. But they might. They actually might. That scares me a lot. So I want to have a Spell Pierce. Oh, we'll take a Kasmina. I want to have a Spell Pierce before I start swinging in with all of my Planeswalker creatures. So I'm just going to plus him, or minus him, and make a dragon. Because if he attacks with Grim Initiate, the dragon kills him because of Sarkhan's passive, which people tend to forget about sometimes, and just attack in anyway, not knowing they're going to lose all their creatures. So this is fine. They could have a Vraska's Contempt for Sarkhan, which is okay because we've got a replacement. Heartfire. Okay. That's not the end of the world. I don't love it, but it's not the end of the world. Let's go no attacks for now. Just to make sure we have blockers for this guy. Because I don't want to lose my Saheeli or Narset. I've made them pretty vulnerable, which is my mistake. Midnight Reaper is fine, whatever. I'm hoping they don't have another Heartfire. They do. Darn it. Okay. They've got another Heartfire, but the good news is I've got another Sarkhan the Masterless. Yeah, I think we just go ahead and play Sarkhan the Masterless here. We need the life gain. We can take the servo tokens, and we'll make another... Huh. I think we do this instead. I don't want to make him vulnerable right now. So we'll just do that. Attack for 8, take him to 13, and then end our turn. And we got plenty of blockers for these bad boys. They could have a Vraska's Contempt for Sarkhan, which would be a bummer, but... Okay. Soren makes sense. We'll have to get rid of him. I'm assuming he kills one of these little ladies. Probably Saheeli. Actually, he might kill Narset so that... No, neither. He killed neither. Footlight Fiend. Listen to them roar. Okay, so he's going to gain 3 life. Does he know he's not going to draw cards with this? Do we just take the damage? No, I think we block here. I think we block. Yep, nice try, broski. I think the smartest thing to do here... Ah, that's such a shame. If I turn these all into creatures, and then I play Deafening Clarion, I can give them lifelink. The only problem is this 1 damage from their Footlight Fiend can kill any of my creatures. So, unless I do this is so stupid. Okay, we'll do this. No, wait. Ah, that sucks. I can't do it, because then the Footlight Fiend wouldn't die. So I just don't... Yeah, we'll do that. That was stupid. I should not have done exactly what I did just now. We can give our creatures lifelink, though. I accidentally did this. I was thinking, oh, prevent damage, but I could have just killed the Soren with these attacks. I'm a dum-dum. Basically is what I'm saying. I'm a dum-dum. I'm just going to not sweep the board. I'm just going to give my creatures lifelink. So I gain a ton of life here. We almost have lethal, but not quite. We're like, what, 5 damage short, and I'm not going to attack with this. So we take him to 5, and we go to 27. I'm pretty sure if I just played Karn's Temporal Sundering, I would have won, but I'm too dumb to do that kind of thing, so I didn't do it. I think we win anyway. Unless they have a way to get rid of Sarkhan right now, which I'm confident that they don't. Hee hee. Yeah, I definitely misplayed that. If I had just turned them into creatures and played Karn's Temporal Sundering, it would have been game over. So, that was silly. We block you. And we take the 2 damage from Footlight Fiend. And that'll be the game. Let's go ahead and play Karn's Temporal Sundering to target me. Yeah. Okay. I would have won in that combat. I could have played that the turn before, but I was too dumb to think about that. I was like, how do I prevent damage? But, you know, I had the win in my hand. It was just Didn't quite click. I don't play this deck enough. One of the things about like playing so many different decks all the time is that I feel like I never quite learn the strategy for each deck. I'm like, I know the gist of it, but I don't know which play to make when. And I just feel like I'm learning it on the fly, and I make a lot of misplays in these. So if you're ever like, oh, you're misplaying so bad, it's partly because I'm bad at the game, partly because I'm not 100% familiar with these decks. So keep that in mind when you're making your judgments about me, please. Please. Okay, why is it taking so long? Currently waiting. 30 seconds. There we go. Finally ready. Let's mosey. Oh, this is terrible. We basically have to mulligan this. We don't have colored lands here. We have Sulfur Falls, and that's it. So we mulligan. This is much better. We've got a Spell Pierce and a Negate, so I like it. Interplanar Beacon is good, but we want to actually draw some gas here. So I'll bottom that. Narset is decent. A decent draw. Let's go ahead and play this tapped. I'm pretty sure they're not going to play a non-creature spell this turn. Oh, I was so wrong. I was so wrong. Gruul Guildgate. What is this deck that you're playing, sir? What are you doing? We'll go Hallowed Fountain here so we can either have Shock or Spell Pierce at the ready, depending on what we see. My thought would be like Gruul aggro, but they're playing Guildgates. It may just be a budgety version. Okay, Thrashing Brontodon. That's a good play. I can't kill it yet. I could play Narset, but then she dies. So I'm gonna just pass and see what they do. I'm looking for a sweeper. The bad thing about Thrashing Brontodon is that he doesn't die to Deafening Clarion. He survives with 1 health, which I find just sad. Sad for me. Good for him. Good for you, Mr. Brontodon. Okay, we'll go to my turn, and we draw Steam Vents. That's nice. I'm going to go ahead and play the Narset, confident that she's going to die. She could potentially die to a Lightning Strike here, but I'm going to go ahead and minus her. See what we pull up. We could pick up another Narset, or we could pick up a Deafening Clarion. I think we probably pick up another Narset, though, because I know that she's going to die either on my turn or his turn, depending on what he decides to do. And there she goes. Well, at least that was 3 damage that didn't go to my face. Drover of the Mighty. So they're just doing like a Gruul Dinos here. Okay, we can actually... If I Deafening Clarion and then Shock Thrashing Brontodon, I wipe their board, which may just be the play here before they get anything bigger down with Drover of the Mighty. I think that's the play. It saves me quite a bit of damage and prevents them from playing a 6-drop. Well, now they can because they've got their 6th land. Register Alpha. Yeah, this wouldn't have died to the whatchamacallit anyway, so... Ooh, Dovin Hand of Control is a interesting choice for this turn. I don't like where we're at. I gotta have a way. I need to get to my Sarkhan, so I'll go Narset here. I have a Spell Pierce ready, but I want to... Yeah, Teferi Time Raveler is actually pretty good. He can bounce the Dino token, and buy me a little time. Carnage Tyrant. That's something we actually don't have a single way to deal with in this deck, and we die. So that's the thing. Dinos is so not meta, but it's still so good. I hate it. Well, that's actually going to have to be it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of the deck in the comments below. Let's take one last look at it. All these beautiful, beautiful Planeswalkers. Let me know what you think of also sideboard options. I haven't really thought through sideboard options for this deck. Obviously, more different kinds of removal. Specifically for Planeswalkers if you're going to be doing that. Anyway, that's it, folks. That is it. Thanks for watching, and check back next time for more Magic the Gathering deck tech and gameplay videos. Bye.